part 2. We are back talking about Jeddah.
Jeddah.
The second race of the season, 2024 season.
Race, also uneventful.
No, it wasn't.
Well, it was a bit more
It
eventful
wasn't
than
like on
Bahrain.
the edge of my seat.
There was
But
a
again,
massive
Saturday
gap
race.
in the middle that nothing happened, and it was like I could have had a nap in like an
There
hour.
was. That middle of the race, I was like...
Bahrain knows
just
about
need to-
10 minutes worth of content. Saudi, both 15, 20 minutes.
But the biggest... Honestly, the only reason that I was like so into Saudi was because of Ollie Behrman. Oliver Behrman, number 38 for Ferrari, 18 years of age.
British
driver. Doesn't sound British though.
No, I know.
Everyone was saying, they were like, what's his accent?
Yeah, it's
He's
very
been
hard to figure
travelling
out.
around so much.
Yeah.
But then, Lando definitely has a British accent, doesn't he?
What was he?
George does as well.
First British driver for Ferrari in how many years?
God, I can't remember. Decades. It's not like 5 years, it's like decades.
Was it a decade? Was it a decade?
I'll have to search up now.
Yeah, let's have a look. A quick look. But yes, very good drive from him. Some very, very good overtakes. Some very good dives into some corners. He did really
honestly
well
did, yeah.
for his...
He did.
Did really well for his first F1 drive. And
Who was it? Fred said on the radio, he was like, it was something like, be careful, or don't go too hard, or don't send... He said something like that, didn't he?
He didn't want him to put out his full pace, did he? He didn't want him to pull out like everything he had for that race. Because obviously they don't want to... They've already got their driver lineup. They didn't want to give Behrman a reason to outdo Leclerc, probably.
Honestly, Ferrari love to play
Leclerc's
with
just
their life.
star boy. I just don't get it.
For anyone who has a brother and their mum loves them more than they love you, and you just know it, that's the type of energy it's
That's
given.
Ferrari. Yeah, that is Ferrari.
Charles is like their firstborn, they can't do anything wrong, and they just love him. I don't really understand why.
He's a good driver. He can get up there, but there's better. There is better. Carlos Sainz is a much more of a clear choice to have rather than...
Don't quote me. To be fair, this is Goodwood website, actually. Eddie Irvine.
Eddie Irvine, yes.
In the late 1990s.
So he was the last British driver for Ferrari?
Yeah, it says it's been 20 years since a Brit last raced for Ferrari.
Oh, it's been 2
And
decades.
then it went, is Hamilton the man to end that run? No, he's not.
No, he's not, unfortunately. That's 100% one of the reasons why he's going to Ferrari. He wanted that title of being the first British driver in 20-odd years.
Is he the first black British driver?
Probably, yeah. I think he's the only black.
So I feel like that's another
driver.
record you can be like.
And yeah, that's
to
the
add to his
the
whole-
reason he's still. That's the reason he's there, isn't it? You know, that's the
I'm
reason
glad
why
he
he's
is,
like-
honestly.
Yeah, of course. You know, you have different races there, but
Yeah, but even just like sexuality, the whole thing that happened at Red Bull, he was the only person to actually say what he wanted to say.
yeah,
and stand
everyone
up.
else kind of shrugged it off and went, "Oh, it's none of my business." So yeah,
It's
I
a
just wanna focus
distraction
on
for the
race.
race weekend, blah, blah, blah. But he was like,
He was the
no,
only one who
no,
went,
we need to
fair enough.
go for it like head on. And I appreciated that.
yeah, he's always been the forefront of all that stuff, though, isn't he? Like,
Yeah, but why has no other driver gone, oh, well, if Hamilton is doing this, it's really good for his PR. Like, even in a selfish sense.
the only other driver that.
Mm.
Oh, pardon me. The only other driver
Go on.
that was like Hamilton,
How'd you my seat?
Sebastian Vettel.
Oh, yeah. They are one and the same.
Yeah.
They are absolutely the
I
same.
think it's just the generation that they are. It's just...
Who else in the... Alonso's in the generation, though.
Yeah, but Alonso's a little bit older. I don't think he quite... I don't think he cares, to be completely honest. He doesn't care.
Alonso,
But
in my head, is a mix of Hamilton and Kimi.
yeah,
Kimi Räikkönen.
literally. Good driver.
Don't give a shit.
Not a care in the world. Yeah,
No.
literally doesn't care. But yeah, Seb was the only other person that actually was involved with
Yeah.
saving the planet,
He still is, isn't he?
racism.
Did they announce the
gay
World
pride
Endurance
stuff.
Championship after?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about it.
Neither have I. Not yet.
Dun, dun, dun. Sebastian Vettel to Mercedes, though.
honestly, I wish he would come back, but he's gonna be doing WEC, isn't he? So
I don't know if he'd be like Ricardo though, where he's kind of lost the momentum of it, and everyone's expecting so much from him.
I don't know.
Or he is genuinely that good.
He still does a lot of driving. It's just like it's not stuff that we see. He's got a collection of F1 cars which he races. He's still trying to work on the sustainable fuels. He's trying to work on all the sustainable stuff.
Yeah.
What was it? What was his thing again?
Oh. We keep forgetting the name of it. We literally seen him
racing with something, isn't it? I want to say it's racing with purpose for some reason. I don't know why.
No, it's not. We literally seen him at Goodwood. He done a massive talk about it. He drove the car with the sustainable fuel. Can we remember it? Can we fuck? Right, I'm literally gonna have to. It's racing something.
It's racing with something, isn't it?
Sebastian Vettel. Who's got
I don't get comfortable in this chair whatsoever.
What's it called, man? There is still a race to win. Yes, there is.
That's it.
Well, is that the entire thing? There's still a race to win?
There's still a race to win, yeah. And it's all about the race for sustainable fuels.
Aww. Sebastian Vettel's shop has a race for women shirt. Aww.
Yeah, that's another thing he's big into as well, is getting women into racing.
Oh, that's nice.
Sebastian Vettel, honestly, is just a god. He's such a good He's such a good guy.
Yeah, he is. Again, he's just one of those gentle souls, you know?
Yeah.
He is. He's so nice.
I feel like no other F1 driver has the same mentality.
But why? Is it just because they're all young nowadays, where they're just like, oh, whatever, I'm here to race, it's a job?
Everyone's just so focused on getting that car on the track.
Yeah.
They don't care what happens outside the track. They don't care what goes on.
Me.
Sole focus is just drive.
I know, it irritates me.
Drive, hopefully win, job done. Okay, I'm going home now. Bye, everyone.
I know, the thing is, like, people like Sebastian, Hamilton, Danny, to a certain extent, I feel like. They've all created their own personal brands.
Mm-hmm.
So now Sebastian going to, like, Porsche, wherever he's going to, it's going to be like, we're going to probably watch it.
Yeah.
Because we know. But then we say that, you've got Nick de Vries, Mick Schumacher, Jensen Button, they're all in Golden Endurance, is it?
Yeah.
We don't watch that. We haven't got into it.
I don't really. It's not like it's one of those things. It's like F1 back in the day. It's like it was not really shown anywhere really. It's like a very specialist thing. You've got to be into it to be watching it.
Kind of the same. Is Le Mans published on like Sky Sports and stuff? Because when I was watching it last year a bit, it was only on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. It's basically streamed on YouTube. I don't know where else.
That's what I mean. That's probably one of the biggest races in the world. Is like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really got the follow for it. I don't really understand.
It's the same as like Porsche Cup. It's the same as all the other race series, apart from all the formulas.
Yeah.
All the formulas get shown.
F1 Academy is now being shown on Sky Sports.
Is it?
Yeah.
But that's big news. That's awesome.
It is. And it's amazing. So they have the F1 Academy, like F3, F2 and F1 all on the same weekend, and they show all of it.
Oh yeah, sick. Something else to watch.
It
Good.
is. Because you've got F3 has a woman driver in it. Sophie or Sophia. I can't remember her name. I literally can see her face though. But it's just because you're not pounded with it every single week. Like F1, we know all 20 drivers. Mm-hmm. We know most of the reserve drivers.
But only from F2.
We don't even know them from F2 really, though. We just know them. Like Jack Doohan's been there for a couple of years as a reserve driver. Felipe Dragovic. But again, in practice and stuff, they're shown, they have interviews. So we're like, not that they pushed on us per se, but we know of them because they're shown.
Yeah.
F1 Academy, unless you watch it, you're not into it. I feel like F1 is the only one particularly that goes on Sky Sports News. And like the Daily Mail reports stuff from it.
F1 is literally the only thing that gets like shown everywhere.
Yeah.
News, newspapers.
That's what I mean. It's like kind of the easiest thing to get into then because it's quite an easy format as well. Whereas F2 has like reverse grids and different things. What has different qualifying? Formula E. Oh my God.
Qualifying is
That
ridiculous.
blows my mind. I was actually watching someone's story and she was like, so this is the first set, then it was reversed, then this is a different set, and then this is a different set. They're going to race against each other. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's too much head work.
That's way too much for my little brain.
Then with the whole like showing stuff, rallying's been like that. I tried to get into rallying years ago.
I'll happily watch it for something, but
it's so hard to follow because it literally goes like, oh, this car's starting, they get to this point, and then they go, cut off there, next car's starting, they watch them to that certain point, and then they go, oh, hang on, this car's finishing, let's go and see them. You missed the entire middle part.
I feel like
the entire racing part, which you want to see, is just not there.
I feel like the only equivalent that F1 has per se is when they focus in on two drivers like at the front.
And then there's a massive fight going on at the back and you miss the entire thing.
Yeah, like they don't focus on that. But again, you can see it. You can see the timings and the stuff on the side.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're not really missing it.
Was it last season when Danny Rick was like fighting through the pack? And they were so focused on Max at the front, they completely missed it. Literally.
Like, they just... But you can, to be fair, you can go on the drivers.
Yeah, they got that... You got the driver's like POV thing now.
Are you a Sky Sports, a Sky Q customer?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, back on topic. Saudi.
It's not like we're
So we had Behrman. Behrman did very well.
Honestly, that made the race so entertaining. Having Ollie Behrman on it was incredible.
Fresh face.
Because Carlos was out with appendicitis.
Yes.
Bless his little heart. Had his operation that weekend,
Natural
I think it was.
weight reduction. He's going for. And it worked. God damn.
Honestly, someone's going to add that to the loop of stuff that is going to
like
cause something.
Like the last time Alex Albon had it, and then it was like, this happened, that happened, that happened, that happened.
Domino effect. Lando Norris.
Lando Norris.
Jump in the start.
Oh, the jump at the start, yes.
100% he jumped the start.
Yeah.
Whether he jumped, he obviously didn't jump it enough to trigger wherever the sensors are.
Yeah.
100% he jumped the start.
I think it was because he had the jump forward, but then he was like slow off the mark with everyone else.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they looked at that and went, oh, that's enough time for no advantage at all.
No,
but
sure.
Still,
if it hit the sensor.
He still jumped the start. They should have like bolted it maybe and like gone around again and restarted
Didn't
it or
jump it
whatever.
enough,
but no, I know.
That's what I mean. It doesn't really count as a jump start if you don't jump the start. You know, if they come over the radio and gone, oh, you're about 10 centimeters away from the line, you can move forward a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's not jumping the start. That's getting into position.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit of a grey area, but he didn't have the sensor go off basically.
I don't know what the decision and process was. They never release that kind of stuff to anyone. They never kind of say like, "Oh, this is why we made that."
Well, yeah, because it can be used against someone, can't it?
We made that decision. End of.
Yeah.
But yeah, George Russell, typical fashion. He's straight on the radio. Oh, Lando jumped the start.
Lando jumped the start.
George, shut up. He is literally that nerdy kid at the back of the class who like grasses you up for like eating or something.
So is Hamilton though. I think it's a Mercedes thing. He is. He was driving around and he was just like, oh, they went over on this corner, went over on that corner.
Yeah, true.
But then everyone should be like that. Like, you shouldn't...
You should be calling out that stuff just in case someone doesn't see it, but...
Yeah, what's the harm in reporting something?
Yeah.
They either go, oh, no, or they go, 5 second penalty.
It's just the sheer amount of times that George does it and the way he says it too. It's just...
It's very like, oh, they done that.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Literally a teacher's pet. He's literally... That kid is calling you out on everything.
But again, like, you should...
You should do it.
You can't have people on the track technically cheating if they're getting away with stuff that they shouldn't be getting away with.
Yeah.
Especially if you then go to do it.
But then
and you
the stewards looked at it and they went, oh, whatever. It is what it is. Let him go. It's fine.
Yeah, he didn't go over the white line, to be fair, if you actually look at it. So the sensor must be just after it. Because he didn't actually go over it. But 100% he jumped the start.
He did. He did. There's no denying it. He did.
Stroll crashed on lap 7.
Yeah, that was just.
It didn't knock him out the race. I don't think. Did it? It did.
Yeah, it did. He couldn't get it started again. They said to him, "Is that? Oh, can you bring it back to the pits?" He was like,
that one?
No,
oh yes.
I'm in a wall.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah, he absolutely sent it into a wall. His front left I'm assuming the axle completely snapped.
He was turning in, he clipped the corner, and his wheel basically snapped off. It was on the
Completely.
tethers. And he just skidded off into the other side of the wall.
Into the wall, and he's like, oh, crashing. Like, oh, Stroll, can you bring it back?
Yeah, can you bring it back
He's
to the
like,
pits? Yeah,
you
no,
kidding
I'm
me?
in a wall, my wheel's off. What do you want me to do, like?
That, like, I don't understand, again, how that happens. Like, why do you as a driver have to tell your team that you've crashed? They should be keeping an eye.
They have a live feed on the pit wall. How do they miss it? How do they go?
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah, and this is delayed. I don't know, but still, it should be up to scratch. Otherwise, they're going to miss out.
It's 2024. If it's delayed, sort it out. But yeah, why can't they see? Like, why are they not? We seen it technically before Aston Martin seen it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the case.
It's awful, really, but like them asking him if he could bring it back. Like, no, mate. No, I can't. End of. I'm literally stuck. I haven't got a wheel.
That's so honestly. He was like, "You joking me right now?"
It was terrible. What else happened then?
So then we had obviously that Stroll out.
Completely forgotten. I literally just watched the highlights. I've completely forgotten already.
We had a Gasly DNF. That was quite early on, actually. I think they were literally like, "Nah, I should retire the car." They
I don't know.
Hadn't.
I can't remember what he retired for. It might have been like a hydraulic leak or something. I don't know. Something stupid.
Something mechanical. Completely Alpine's fault.
Car's broken again. Surprise, surprise.
But we had a safety car on Stroll crashing, obviously.
Yeah, for Stroll
so that was the first safety car of the year.
And that's also another thing ticked off our bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of them, we got 8 in total. We've ticked off 1.
Sick. There's 100% going to be.
There's going to be more.
100%.
There's going to be more. No way there isn't going to be more.
Right, okay, going into penalties.
Oh, God,
Saudi and penalties, honestly. Right, so you had Perez had a 5-second penalty for an unsafe release. So he cut up Fernando Alonso in the pit lane.
Yes.
And that was during the safety car caused by Stroll. On chaos. Absolute chaos. I think it was Charles that went in. It was a Ferrari anyway. They literally had to wait about 10 seconds. Just being held there because cars were like flying past.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for trying to release Perez early. But that must be so frustrating as a driver. That is purely your team's fault.
Yeah.
That's not your. You couldn't do anything at that point.
They just couldn't. They couldn't look at the traffic and go, there's a car coming. I'll just go anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you can't. They might have gone.
They're trying so hard to keep the position that they just had to risk him crashing in the pit lane, which is.
But then,
terrible,
or did they
really,
go? Perez is a good enough driver. He can probably get a 5-second gap.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? If they were like, we either get it, or you just got to work a tiny bit harder.
Yeah.
That could be their thought process. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know with Red Bull.
So he had a 5-second penalty, and then
this like kicked off all the penalties.
was it Magnus and Roma?
And during that safety car, Norris was leading for a few laps.
Yes.
Which was amazing, but we all knew that Max was obviously going to get it back, unfortunately. Like,
Lando, man.
In your heart, you're like, oh my God, he's going to do it. In your head, you're like, he ain't got it. He had about 3 laps, though. Like, he did fight. But I think if Piastri was given that position, like in the sprint race, I think he could have either stuck it out or at least stuck out further.
Max's car is so damn quick. I don't think anyone stands a chance in front of him.
Well, Carlos did last year.
Carlos did, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is that literally gives me the most shimmer bit of hope of going, it is possible. It can be done.
Again, it's Carlos, not Leclerc.
Yeah, it is.
Why are they getting rid of Carlos?
There's not
What's
the percent.
The thing with Leclerc? What
I'd love to know the percentage of races that Leclerc has been above Carlos and vice versa. 100% it will be swayed towards Carlos being better. Yeah.
Or if not, 50-50.
It just will.
But then still.
The only reason he got a podium instead of Carlos in Saudi, is because Carlos was not there.
Yeah, exactly. And he had to deal with Behrman instead.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Way behind, so.
Not for a bloody rookie. Christ.
No, I know.
The fact he finished in points, like
top 10, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
7th?
Damn.
Not even like 10th. Like, oh yeah, he did it. No, he did it.
I know he's in a Ferrari. But why can no one else do the same thing? Why can no one else jump in that car or jump in a car and just put in a good performance?
That's what I mean. What makes people different? How did Piastri come from F2 and have probably the best rookie season that he could have ever had?
Yeah.
Nick came from...
He went to Formula E, didn't he?
Formula E, yeah.
He's been in Formula E for a while.
Yeah, to be fair. I believe Logan's come up from F2, surely.
Ooh, yeah, I think so.
What other rookie was there? Was it 3 or 4? 3?
When? Last season?
Yeah. Nick?
3 would have been Nick.
I swear there was 4. Logan, Piastri. Oh my god.
Joe was 22, wasn't he?
I swear there was 4 because I can remember trying to do like a print design and there was 4 slots.
Oh my god.
Who else is there?
Logan, Nick. Liam, technically?
Maybe, yeah. He was technically a rookie.
Yeah.
He did technically drive.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He had a very good drive.
I'm going to give you a challenge.
What?
Name every single driver on the grid off the top of your head. It's honestly so difficult.
Max, Checo, Lewis, George, Sainz, Leclerc. Oh, God. Put on the spot now. Norris,
so
Piastri, Fernando, Stroll. Oh my God, struggling. Valtteri, Zhou, Magnussen, bloody K-Mag.
That's Magnussen.
Hulkenberg. Yeah, I'm just going back. Hulkenberg. Albon, Sargent.
Are you missing a team? Are you?
No? Question mark?
Did you say...
Done the Haas's. Done Sauber.
Yeah.
Danny Rick Yuki. There's the 2 I'm missing.
Have you said Ocon and...
Oh my God. Ocon and Gasly, of course.
It's hard. It genuinely, like, if you know them off... Like, if you know them like that usually, listing them... Right, list the teams. That's a bit easier. 10.
Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Aston Martin, Haas, Ferrari. Why have I brought Haas from Ferrari, man? Ferrari, Sauber, RB, Alpine, Williams. Got it. Wow.
I don't know what it is about the drivers, but like, I don't know if it's because there's so many. But I can't get them all.
Man. They're on about adding another team. Well, that's been shut down now for a while, but...
What's that? I thought it was 2026.
As far as I know, it got shut down.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's actually... Like, when they first announced it, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But then I thought about it, and I was like, do you know what? There is... Like, when you look at them going around the track, there is plenty of room. And especially with the cars being made smaller again...
But then you look at qualifying, you look at practice and everything, when they're all out on the grid, it's just going to be chaos.
Well, I don't know, because, right, they make the car smaller.
They are making the car smaller, yes.
With the gap, bloody Verstappen's like 30 seconds ahead sometimes. There's a 30-second gap, which doesn't sound long, but if you've seen videos of people at the track,
it's like...
Max comes round and then it literally feels so long until another car. So there is plenty of room. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, hang on, you're another car. There it is.
Literally.
And it's like another 15-second gap between that car then and the next car.
Yeah, and then there's like 5 in one go.
Yeah, and then there's like...
Then that's what makes it interesting.
Oh my God.
That's what I mean. If that gap keeps extending for another 2 years, then they add 2 more drivers in. I feel like they're just gonna slot into a gap. That's all they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. There's some tracks that first corner is going to be a bit more deadly.
Bahrain, I think, is just going to be an absolute shit show.
There is another track that's like so like it must be
Spa. Spa is another one.
Yeah.
Literally, you go into the first turn and it's literally like a 90-degree.
Yeah. That's what I mean. 22 or 24 cars on the grid there.
90-degree? No, like 180
It's
degrees.
going to be a little bit hard, but again, if you're a good enough driver, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suppose it weeds them out a bit more. But the main point to talk about Salby. Salby. Oh, I knew I was going to say
yes. We literally said beforehand. I said Sauby. I said Sauby for some reason. And she was
Sauber
like,
and
I'm going to say
Saudi.
Sauby, 100%. And you've just done it. Unlucky.
Kevin Magnussen.
K-Mag, 20-second penalty?
20-second penalty altogether. He had 10 seconds for bashing into Albon, I think it was.
Yes.
Or into the back of him, either one. Because I think Ocon was a little bit involved in it.
And
then for gaining position off track.
Yes.
But honestly, Haas just went, no worries.
Yeah.
We're getting in the points anyway. So he defended for his life. He was basically the new Perez. He defended so well. And I think they were quite lucky with the track as well. Because there were corners where they were looking at the data and he basically completely lifted off. He was just completely lifted off.
He was trying to make such a big gap for himself that the 20 seconds didn't matter, but...
Yeah, so basically they tried to make the gap big enough that Hulkenberg could pit and come back out in front of him and stay in 10th. Because there was no point in Magnussen trying to get 10th because he would have gone back 20 seconds. Yeah. Which would probably be the rest of the grid, to be honest. Other than Sauber, obviously.
They played it very well for a penalty. They probably,
for Haas?
Probably a bit dodgy, but they played it very well for a penalty. It wasn't that...
Fully legal. But again, he was completely lifting off and just... No one could get past him. I don't think anyone did.
It wasn't as if the drivers were stuck behind him.
Yeah, if they were good enough.
If they were good enough, they had enough of a chance, they could overtake him, no problem at all.
Because they were overtaking each other. Albon overtook. Ocon had an overtake. They were happening, but they just couldn't get past him.
They just couldn't get past him somehow. I don't know how, but...
That's what I mean. If the likes of Max or Carlos or... Honestly, even bloody Lewis at that point, they could get past
him straight away. They would have
That's what I mean. He was holding up the pack of, not the best drivers.
Yeah.
Which
they're all busy
so well.
fighting each other while he's in front going, okay,
yeah.
You guys carry on then. I'll just keep my place.
Honestly, insane. I was on the edge of my seat. Genuinely. He was in and out, oh, what's happening? I was like, the best thing, this is the most exciting thing ever is happening right now. And I think you were doing food and he was just in and out. I was like, you've got to watch it. It's so fascinating. Oh, it was
very
immense.
On and off with Saudi. It was,
yeah. That's what I mean. It wasn't
good for 30 seconds and then it was dry again. And it was good for 30 seconds and it was dry again. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. It's wrecking me.
But there's not an F1 race that you can be the entire time is interesting. I don't think you could name a race.
I'm just going to say all of 2021 because Max and Lewis were constantly just going for it. Oh my God.
So in terms of Haas, because they to be fair, they done so well in Saudi and Melbourne, but we'll talk about it in a sec. Is Haas better now Gunter's left? Just in the first 3 races, 2-ish, 3 races.
Oh, I don't know.
Honestly, they feel 10 times better already.
They really do.
I don't know why.
They feel a lot more composed.
Yeah, they've got this shit together. They've gone 20-second time penalty. Right, we'll just do that then. Instead of going, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We've lost it.
It's very unfortunate that Gunter seemed to be. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know if it's the change of attitude between Gunter and this new guy.
Maybe just a refresh kick where he's going, right guys, we're scoring points.
Yeah.
We're not being bottom. We're not being bottom of the midfield.
Yeah.
We are fighting.
Instead of Gunter going, F this, F that, this, that, whatever. Don't get me wrong, he's funny, he's great. But obviously something was wrong in his managing skills, I guess.
But sometimes it's just you just get used to, maybe they were going right, you need to do something. Because if you watch DTS, again, I don't know if this is the way they edited it, mind. Gunter didn't seem to know much. Do you remember?
No,
and they were just we're going to change this and change that. He's like, well, I don't know what the fuck that is. So.
And he really didn't care, did he? He had
it didn't look
enough.
I think at that point, he was like, I think I'm out. Because he went to see Bonotto. Mm-hmm. Bestie Bonotto in his little vineyard. And he was like, life is just great without
Yeah.
the
He's like,
stress, to be honest.
yeah.
And you can see in his face.
You
He's
got a
like,
vineyard. When am I getting one? Basically.
yeah, I think that it was a good time for him to leave, but then he hasn't left.
He hasn't left. No,
He hasn't left F1.
He's gone into promotional stuff now, isn't he? He's going into.
He's like the face of Miami.
Yes, face of Miami, and he's doing a bit of like grid stuff as well, and he's doing like interviews and.
Yeah, so he hasn't left. So I don't think it was the travel. I think it was literally just the job.
Like Danny Rick, I never left.
I feel like Gunter's just one of them people who's just gonna be floating around doing random stuff.
100%.
Don't know, but yeah, Haas seem to have a very different attitude. Don't know if it's the new car. It's obviously the same drivers, but I don't know. The only variable is Gunter, so it's very intriguing.
They flew.
Yeah, they've done very well.
But anyway,
fair play to him. Magnussen was an absolute powerhouse. But yeah, literally. Right, I was gonna say Piastri done a really good drive.
Piastri always does a good drive. He's always there. He's never.
Yeah.
He's rarely like below top 10.
Yeah, he never shows that he's just come out of being a rookie.
He never gets antsy.
Never kicks off.
He just drives. He's happy with where he places.
Yeah, but
if he wins, he wins. Excellent. Can't wait.
It's just like the knowledge and the experience he must have had. So when he come off the track, he knew he gained a position on Hamilton. He knew he was going to have to give it back.
Yeah.
So he gave it back the way he could. That's what I mean.
Right up his arse again.
That's what I mean. He didn't go, oh, fuck, right, just let him go.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm going to give it back, but he ain't getting away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
He done it on his terms rather than waiting for the stewards to tell him and trying to get away with it. And that just shows something, like, considering it's only his second year, some drivers still wouldn't do that.
He's very laid back. He's very composed. He's very just ready for whatever comes at him. He just gets on with it. Just gets his head down, gets on, like, does the job.
Yeah.
Done.
He's kind of like Lando and him are quite similar.
Yeah.
Like, if something's wrong, they will say their piece. But other than that, they're pretty chill. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's a reflection of those two as people or McLaren.
Yeah.
Because McLaren must be quite laid back and chill for them to have that laid back attitude towards them.
McLaren seems to me to be like the only team that isn't like tight on everything, you know? They're not right, like... Yeah.
I thought you meant like tight as in like...
No. Like
friends tight.
I don't know, like bloody...
They're just like, do you know what? I think it might come down to Zach Brown.
They're like very...
His knowledge and experience.
Unprofessional professionals.
Yeah, they go, oh, we need to do that.
Very chill, they're very laid back. They just get on with what they need to do.
Yeah.
End of. There's no fighting. There's no arguing.
Like,
there's nothing.
Just little things. Like, Lando at his press conference. He went the wrong way. He was talking to Max, so he just followed Max to the left, and everyone else was going to the right, and he was meant to. His PR guy just went, oh, for God's sake, where's he gone now? And he hunted down. He's like, where are you going? And they just had like a little giggle, and I feel like if that was like another team potentially under stress.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
if shouting, they would have been pulling.
Yeah.
Been like,
I don't know. I feel like it's that chill attitude.
Yeah, I think McLaren's literally just like
they
whatever.
Honestly seem right. McLaren and Williams honestly seem, in working wise, they seem like the best at the moment. I don't know why.
They're like happy to get whatever results they can, and then they're happy to work on whatever results they don't get.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Zach and James are quite similar in the sense of going, I'm not just looking for immediate results.
Yeah, like stuff takes time.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But then some other team principals are very much like, no, we need to win like now.
Yeah. We need this win. We need you to win right now. And like, oh, I'm starting P20. Yeah, but we need you to win.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on you. We need you to win right now.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas
McLaren are just like, oh, you qualified P2? Excellent. Great. Let's see where we end up. Let's do it. Let's get on with it.
Yeah, even in interviews, Zach is very like, yeah, we'll just see what we got on the day, you know? Whatever comes at us, we'll solve it.
And then they tend to take that chill attitude and do what they can with it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually get podiums. Doing great at the minute with podiums. Well, not recently, but...
Yeah. Well, three races in, they've already got a podium, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's more than last year. And the results are better than last year. So that attitude must be working.
Smaller Mercedes, smaller Aston. And that's kind of that's like their competitors, isn't it, for the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've got Red Bull, Ferrari, and then... What would it work out?
McLaren, Mercedes and Aston are all
Oh, no, it'd
together.
be 3-4-3, wouldn't it? Is that how we're splitting the table? Because we have
I'd say
midfield.
2, 3, and then the rest.
Yeah, but like to make it all even. I feel like the midfield is usually 4 teams, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
So would you put top 3? Red Bull, Ferrari? McLaren's got to be 3rd right now. It can't be Mercedes.
Yeah, I'd go Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren,
Yeah.
Aston, then Mercedes.
Aston, Mercedes, yeah, fair. I think bottom 3, 100% looking at
Haas,
Sauber.
maybe, I think. Haas, maybe after
Yeah.
Aston. And then everyone else, because RB's nowhere.
No.
Sauber's nowhere.
Tsunoda's
Alpine are
scored points.
definitely nowhere.
I want to say Melbourne. Tsunoda's definitely been in the top 10
Yeah, I think
in the
it's
last 2
Melbourne, wasn't it?
races. Must have been.
I'm not sure. Can't remember now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to
Yeah.
mix up, I just want something to be like, oh my god, this is happening. We are witnessing this history.
Yes. Someone to bring home some wins.
Yeah, Saudi wasn't too bad,
Probably.
actually.
Saudi was okay. Yeah, it was alright.
The whole
It was
Magnussen
very,
thing mixed with Ollie.
It was very up and down. It was very like, exciting, boring, exciting.
I think
boring.
every race is like that.
Some of them are. Once
I
you
haven't
start to settle
experienced
into
a
race
race.
pace, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 2 full hours of like, oh my god, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe one that's like Monaco, that's raining maybe.
The last 3 years have been very much like that. It's been very much, something exciting, boring, exciting, boring. 2021 is the only season. Well, it's the first season I personally watched, and it's the only season I can think
Maybe
of
hyping it up because it's
right
the first season.
now. I don't know, man, because even
It was a
then,
great
I would have
season.
looked at it and I would have gone, "Oh my god, they're all in the same position. No one's changed for 30 minutes. I'm bored." But I was very much glued to that. I noticed a massive difference between that season and 2022.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Complete attitude change.
100%. Because it's just not close anymore. Do you know what I mean? But again, if you take Max out, everything's quite close.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in the championship,
P2 down is
it's all pretty close.
tight.
There's no
It's
massive
good.
gaps. That's what it should be.
yeah.
Which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it's very annoying
But
that
it's
one
fine.
driver has got just one rocket ship of a car. And I just don't know where it's come from. I don't know what they've done to do it.
No idea.
But hey, never mind. He
But-
won again. And
He did.
Perez second.
Which again was
Leclerc
expected.
third.
In terms of expectations,
Our expectations were he's gonna do it again. He's 100% gonna do it again. Of
Yeah.
course, it is what it is. That's just the way he is at the minute.
I kind
But
of expected Ollie to finish maybe like 10th or 11th. 7th was quite...
that's quite good.
Yeah. I was like, he might be just outside the points. Because, like, they obviously tell him, like, don't crash it, don't crash the car, just kind of stay on track.
Yeah.
Or maybe, like, he finishes 10th, he's like, yeah, but no, he literally finished 7th,
First drive.
which was crazy.
First drive. First time in the Ferrari F1 car.
Literally,
He hasn't touched that car before.
no. Which is insane to me.
And
If
he
he's a
smashed it
reserve
in
driver,
seventh. It's great.
I feel like, I was going to say legally, technically, in terms of legally, reserve drivers should have a drive in the car. I feel like you can't just expect an 18-year-old to jump in a race-winning car, probably the only car, / driver, obviously, but only car that's competed against the, how many times? 3 world champion? 4? 3? Max? 3 or 4 time world champion.
Three.
3. You can't expect an 18-year-old to jump in there and just go on track.
No, but he did it though.
Like, going from an F2 car to an F1 car, it can't be that different, but it's got to be different enough.
It's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, no, but it's not that much of a jump from,
That's why
like,
they struggle
Porsche
so
GT
much.
Cup to F1.
Oh, well,
It can't
yeah.
be that much that they trust them. But once you sign a reserve driver up, you should be like, you
need
test
training. You need to be in this car.
FP1, literally next week, go for it. Do whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Test it out for us. Maybe test some tyres, test some, like,
Yeah.
fuel
As
amounts.
much as the drivers kind of need it, they kind of don't. They've been there many times before. They know the track. They know things. They can send the rookie out just to do some testing, just to get some data.
It's crazy to me.
In the car.
Yeah, but it would help them as well if they had an engineer that had data to back up. Yeah. If they kind of went, we know that so-and-so usually brakes late. We know that he's good on street circuits. Mm-hmm. They've got data to already start them off on the weekend.
Yeah.
Instead of chucking them in at literally like FP3 or qualifying or whatever it was. And then they're just like, do your best, I suppose.
Yeah, good luck.
Absolute madness.
But yeah, that was Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay-ish race.
Not too bad.
Not bad.
Not as exciting as Melbourne, though.
I take it, yes. Melbourne next. Well, the pod. It's already been.
But we're going to discuss Melbourne. What happened in that? Because that was probably the most exciting race. Not that we woke up at 4 a.m. for it, mind.
No, I know. We woke up at 10 and then watched it. We did set up our phones. We had no spoilers.
Oh, I had a slight spoiler of the girls' chat, Girls Across the Grid, the Welsh chat. I had a really slight spoiler. But it wasn't... I didn't expect it to be that major.
No.
But we'll talk about that now.
Yes, we shall.